Hello everyone, this is Dr. Rauf Ahmed here, and here is a note on the files at which you should be using when you have difficult calcifications, when you encounter calcific metamorphosis, when you have tight canals, when you have calcified canals. These are the files that you should be using. Before that, we need to know that establishing a glide path is axiomatic when it comes to that of endodontics, because glide path is the key. And as John T. West defined, a glide path is a smooth, reproducible radicular tunnel that which starts from the orifice level to the point at which the termination of a root canal ends is a glide path. So as to establish a glide path, we use manual files, and endodontics still is a manual key. So you need to understand that the files that which we commonly use are K files. And if you observe the K files, you would find that a square-shaped geometry being represented at the end of the shank, which says that the cross-section of the file is going to be square-shaped. And these are constant tapered files. So if you take a 10 O2, it's going to be D0 is going to be 10, and D1 is going to be 12, and D2 it's going to be 14, and D3 is going to be 16. Apparently, I mean to say that 2% incremental rise is seen. So 10 O2 is going to be 10, 12, 14, and 15 O2 is going to be 15, 17, 19, 21 it's going to be, right? Yeah, but we need to understand that when we encounter cases like calcifications and all, there is something known as a buckling resistance. If you take the file, the tip of the file, and if you are going to hit onto that of a flat surface, the flutes should not unwind and there should not be any kind of bending. The file needs to be rigid, because when we have calcifications, we need to walk around the calcified plex. So which means to say that we need a file which has got good buckling resistance. So we have two kinds of files which has been evolved, or from that of a K file is concerned. The one is known as the C pilot files, another is known as the C plus files. The C pilot files, the only major difference what I find with the C pilot files is that they are, I mean to say that the stainless steel files are more treated, so they have a better buckling resistance when you compare with that of the regular K files. But for me, the pickup would be C plus files. The C plus files are excellent files. These files have a greater taper. Unlike the constant taper files, when you see the C plus files from D0 to D3, there is a greater taper, which differs with that of the size 6 is concerned, 8 is concerned, and 10 is concerned. All right. So the C plus files, the plus signifies that the tip is active, which means to say that it can walk through the calcifications, or it can just squeeze into the calcifications, but you should be very careful. That is there. So I want to tell you about the taper of the files. So having said, the C plus files has got excellent buckling resistance. So if you just tap onto that of a flat surface, it doesn't buckle easily, which means to say that these files are excellent choice when we want to deal with calcified canals, dystrophic calcifications. When you have calcific metamorphosis, these files are the apt one to use. You have size 6, size 8, and size 10. It defines the tip size of the file. But unlike the K files, which is going to be constant tapered in with regard to that of the 2% is concerned, here, if you take a 6% file, the first 3 millimeter is going to be 5% taper. If you take an 8 size C plus file into consideration, the first D0 to D3, the first 3 millimeter, it's going to be 4.5% incremental rise. And beyond that, it's going to be a regular 2%. If you take a size 10 C plus files into consideration, the first 3 millimeter, it's going to be 4% taper, followed by which it's going to be regular 2% taper. So if you take a 6 size 10 C plus files, the D0 is going to be 6, and D1 is going to be 0.11 or 11, or D2 it's going to be 16. And if you take a size 8 C plus files, the D0, the tip size is going to be 8, and as I said, it's going to be 4.5% incremental rise in the first 3 millimeter. The D1 is going to be 12.5, and D2 is going to be 16.5. I mean to say that if you take a C plus files, 8 size, and if you go beyond 1 millimeter of patency is concerned, at the apical foramen, the size is going to be halfway between 10 and 15. And if you take a 10 size file, the C plus files, the D0 is going to be 10, and D1 is going to be 14, and D2 is going to be 18. As I said, the 10 size C plus files is going to have a 4% incremental rise at the first 3 millimeter, and followed by which it's going to be 2%. If it's an 8% file, it's going to be 4.5% taper at the first 3mm. And if it's a size 6 file, the first 3mm, it's going to be 5% incremental rise. So these files are excellent files when you're going to tackle or challenging calcifications. These are the excellent files to use. If you are going to use regular K files, these files are not capable and are inefficient to get through with that of the Plex is concerned. So I would really suggest you to use C++ files, excellent files available from Densply, and you should probably have this in your armamentarium. Thank you.